This is welcome back territory at this point, y'all. So Saturday morning streams turns into just random Saturday night streams. I really thought I was going to finish this game, everybody, this morning. I had my plans for it. I even had my hey, what's up, Key? Welcome back. Hey, I'm glad that you can make it to both of my streams. I normally don't stream twice like this, but I was so convinced that I was going to beat this game. I had everything all ready to go. I had my review all ready to go, and I was ready to go to that panel when I was, at the end of the game. And it kept coming and coming and coming. This game, I didn't have enough time, is what I'm trying to say. So I had to cut it short. So I promised a to be continued stream. Let's see here. Didn't expect it, yeah, but glad because I missed end of, yeah. Great. I'm glad that you're able to make it, by the way, Key. It's really nice being able to see you on the other end of this whole thing. I enjoy watching your streams. I always thought you were a really chill streamer. Sometimes my energy gets the best of me and I just kind of get all, riled up and that energy type. Anyway, that's why I appreciate your energy. I appreciate streamers who are just kind of, chilled and relaxed. And you've always been like that, so definitely enjoy watching your streams. I'm glad that you're coming through on mine. All right, so I got to what I thought was the final temple of this game, and it just keeps on going. So we're gonna finish it up, and I'm gonna review this game, and then that's it for Final Fantasy 3. So this is it, you guys. This is the final stream of Final Fantasy 3, the grand finale. Drum roll, please. I don't have any drum rolls. Welcome anyway. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Because I missed the last stream. Oh, it's very sweet. It's true, Key. It's true. Very chill streamer. By the way, if anybody out there is interested in like strategy games, like I met you on Slay the Spire. But you also play other strategy games I'm definitely very appreciative of. Go check out Key of A Majors. Also, if you are into music, especially piano, Key is also a pianist, and sometimes he'll stream himself practicing on the piano, which again is great to have, like, kind of off to the side while you're doing something else. That's how I do it. I just kind of have the little music going on in the background while I'm kind of doing something else. So that's real nice. Hey, Slyrai, I see you in the house. Don't you think you're gonna sneak by me? What's up, Slyrai? Welcome. Red Clover's in the house. Welcome back, Red Clover. Welcome, everybody. Yo, I'm hey, handsome. I do declare. Okay, I just got off of Stardew Valley stream. Totally would have rated. Oh, damn it. Oh, well, that's okay, Key. Yeah, that's right. Last time I watched you streaming, you were doing Stardew Valley. And when I do Stardew Valley, by the way, I go off the deep end on the mining. Like, I started off doing my little farm. I cleared out all the trees. I got rid of all the little, the hills and the rocks and everything. And I basically got my whole area ready to farm. And then I discovered the mines, and it was all over. No more mining, or no more farming for me. It was all about mining. So that's what happened to me on that damn game. All right, well, let's dig into it, you guys. Let's come on over here. There was plenty of that level 80 for spring. Okay, level 80. I don't know what level I got on the mines, but I definitely went like crazy on the mines. Let's come over here. I want to dive into this game. I'm glad that Red Clover, I'm glad you're able to make it back. Slyrai, I'm glad you're here. By the way, this is going to be my final stream of this game. Key, I'm glad you're able to make it through. If Pigs can make it through, that'd be really nice. I know Pigs was with me on day one of the very first Final Fantasy, and he's kind of come through on almost every single one of my streams. So I'm really hoping that he can see the finale of this game. But let's go. So this is where I left off. Okay, this is where I left off. So I got to get up. Let's go. Oh no, that's a dead end. Oh no. Okay. So I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna rinse, lather, repeat. So this guy down here does my healing. He'll punch people in the face. I was more into fishing myself on Stardew. You did fishing? I think I did fish a time or two on Stardew Valley. Yo, I was into fishing on Ocarina of Time. I spent hours fishing for that damn loach. Remember that thing? You had to get the sinking lure to get the loach at the bottom of the lake. Tainted Soul, I love Tainted loves Stardew Valley. I know that for a fact. Tainted and who else? There's another, Indigo to Green. If Indigo to Green makes it to this stream, by the way, Indigo is a huge Stardew Valley person. I was a farmer, loved making optimized farms. Yeah, I didn't spend much time farming on Stardew. So I got a, if you're watching through YouTube, by the way, I have a poll out. Have you beaten Final Fantasy 4? No, 3. Have you beaten Final Fantasy 3? So make sure to answer that poll if you come through on YouTube. We're gonna use the antidote on this guy here. So I didn't have time to finish my stream this morning because I had a birthday party to go to out in a city that's a couple hours away from me. So it was a bunch of driving today. A lot of driving. I finally got there, and I live closer to the coast in California, so it's kind of cool. They live in the Central Valley where it gets really hot. So it was super uncomfortably hot. And there were so many people at the house that it was uncomfortably hot inside as well. So hot. And then the drive home was nice because it was starting to cool off as I was getting closer to home. So I'm finally home, ready to relax, finish up this game. This got me thinking about the job system in Final Fantasy V. I've tried thinking what the worst possible party would consist of to make it like a bad party. I think the last party that I had was pretty bad. That's going to be one of my complaints in this game, by the way. When I get to the end and I start talking, more in depth about my review for this, the job system, that's not the biggest fan of the job system here. Oh my god, this guy's taking some damage though, isn't he? Oh, he is taking some damage. There we go. So the job system in Final Fantasy, is there a job system in Final Fantasy IV? I am one of the 4 warriors of dark. We managed to stop the wrath of light 1,000 years ago. Light and dark, our 2 worlds depend on one another. If the 2 were to converge, it would bring about a single world of nothingness, a void. Now that light is weakened, the darkness is spreading, the wrath of dark is upon us. The only force that can stop this and return balance is within you, the 4 warriors of light. I'm here to aid you. We cannot allow the void to consume our world. Pigs is in the house. Pigs, welcome, by the way. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, but not quite like this. Okay. So that might be a good thing then, because the job system here I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't like when you swap jobs, you lose all your magic. Okay, that sucks. I also don't like that when you swap jobs, you lose all your experience. I don't like having to level up each job class individually. I mean, it makes sense that a certain job maybe could use certain weapons or certain spells. That makes sense to me. And maybe even leveling up those weapons and those spells, maybe I can see that, but not leveling up from scratch your entire character. That's kind of, because it discourages you from actually building. It discourages you from actually playing around with your party in late game. So I definitely am not. I tried last stream. I tried to kind of experiment with my party, and it just turned into a big mess. This is an unexpected but not unwelcome surprise stream. Yes, it is, Pigs. So my plan was to finish the stream this morning, and I got about almost 3 hours into the stream. I thought I was going to be done by then, but it just kept going, and this game just kept going and going. And I had plans, so I had to get going. So I just decided to do a bonus stream, an overtime stream, to actually finally beat the game like I was planning on beating. There are jobs, but it's a very different style game. Okay, I'm looking forward to trying it. Red Clover, the first game did not have set characters jobs. No, the first game did not. You had, wait, it didn't have jobs, but it had 6 different characters with different abilities. So they weren't necessarily jobs, but they had different abilities, each one. So you had to, like, you know, depending on what kind of abilities you want to play with. I started watching the other stream. Did you get Bahamut? I don't know, Pigs. I don't know, and I don't think I'm going to be able to unless you think it's really worth it, because there's a lot of backtracking to get out of where I am. I don't think I got Bahamut though. Nah, he's not worth going back. Okay, that's good. It would have been nice to get him. I did get that giant Leviathan. That was, is that like an optional boss battle? Is that what it is? I got the Leviathan. I think I got one other one as well, because I think the game told me that I had gotten 2 out of the 3. But I never, wait a minute. Oh, Bahamut was on top of the mountain and I never fought him. Remember, I ran away from him way back in like the first or second stream. So I did find Bahamut, but I backed out of fighting him. I actually ran away from him. You can't get back. You can't get backtracked at all when you get here, so it's out of the question. Okay, I got you. Sam, welcome back, by the way. We got a finish game no matter what now, or we can't skip this place at all. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm doing the, so okay, last stream I did the bottom left. Okay. Yes, you get Bahamut like Leviathan on the floating continent. Oh, he's on the, yeah, okay. He's on the floating continent, but do you get him in the early game? Is he one of the first boss battles that you fight? Because I did have the option to fight him early, but I ran away from him. Oh my god, who is this one? Zan's clone. There are total 3 summons that you get in this, which is Bahamut, Leviathan, and Odin. I think I have Odin and Bahamut. I mean Odin and Leviathan. Oh, I'm blind. Bassy's blind. Okay, so let's go down to items. I'm gonna use eye drops. Oh, 2 of them are blind. Oh my goodness. You can only defeat him around the same time as... Okay. So I guess if you go back to the island, you can get him, huh? Let me see who I have, though. If I do have... I think I have the ability to... Yeah, so I have Catastro and I have Leviath. I'm assuming one more down. I'm assuming that might be Bahamut. I think maybe. So you get Odin and Leviathan. Your sage can summon them. You can't get either of those to 2 summons because only way is to have invincible airship, which is the big boy. Okay. When did I fight Odin, by the way? Who was Odin? Oh, there's a little thing over here. Oh, I could have took this shortcut the whole time? Ugh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I could have took a major shortcut here and here. It was the guy who was on the other side of Saronia Castle. Oh, that's right! I went up the stairs. I didn't have to go up those stairs. I remember now. Okay. Okay. I seem to be... These guys are kind of tough. These guys that you fight to get the crystals, they're kind of tough. Oh, 3,000 damage. Holy moly. Oh, that hurt, that hurt, that hurt. We're gonna like this, we're gonna like this, we're gonna go magic. Arise. That's cute, little Cupid. And now I'm gonna go attack, attack. You're gonna use magic, cure on every. Ooh. Okay, so attack. You're going to use your magic and you're going to go back to Arise, this guy here. And then you're going to sing to everybody. Thank you. Just on yourself. go. Okay. 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 Now you can see why the NES version of this game was tough. Oh, absolutely. Even, yeah, I can't believe that the NES version would have like the audacity to, I want the Elder Staff. What is the Elder Staff? Let that cast Cure. Oh, Cure. I want the Rune Staff. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. And then you're going to use your Sing. Okay. I was just every single game I've played so far, like the last finale part of the game is like such a marathon, and the fact that you would lose all your progress is unthinkable. It's like abusive. 8,200. That was crazy. Okay, now we're gonna do the bottom right. We're gonna do the bottom right, right. You know, my bard is going first. I wonder if it's worth it to have my bard, instead of healing at first, maybe I should have my bard to do... Is that chest worth it, do you think? I don't think that chest is worth it. I wonder if it's worth having my bard, instead of healing first, do... So I'm gonna attack. You're gonna use your item, Rune Staff. And then instead of... I want you to sing decrease damage taken by the entire party, increase the entire party's attack power. Let's try that. Because he goes first every time anyway. That might be worth it. It's because these last two dungeons didn't hold back at all. Worst part of this part is that on NES, if we died, we couldn't restart or save from here, but all the way from outside Crystal Tower, which meant Zand and all 4 Dark Crystal boss battles again. That's unbearable, Sam. By the way, all the graphics in 1, 2, and 3 were upgraded to look like they would have on the SNES. So don't expect a graphical jump to 4. Okay. Oh yeah. So I did hear that. I heard that all of these games were made to look the same. So from when you go from 1 all the way to 6, it's supposed to look like it's like the same style. I did hear that. Yes, it would have been nice if there had been save points within the dungeon. Yeah, absolutely. And like stores, you know what I mean? Like places where you can buy stuff, you know, or little, you know, vendors or whatnot to buy more items. Now I'm gonna go do the same thing, but I want you to sing now. Increase the entire party's attack power and intellect. I did that already. Decrease damage taken by the entire party. Okay, now I'm going to have him start to like this, yeah. Okay, if I don't remember if DS were this hard, but at least it was way more or less punishing than the NES version. Yeah, I hear that each one makes the game a little easier and easier, and therefore better and better, because a game can be too hard. They get much nicer about save spots in the final dungeon going forward. It's Ahriman. Now you can see where the best and famous enemy of future Final Fantasy first comes from. Okay, Ahriman. Let's keep going. Yeah, you're gonna see this guy a lot in future Final Fantasy games. Okay. I'm ready to see a big flying sphere with, with two eyes, one on top of the other. Okay, let's keep going then. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Yes, 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 please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Final Fantasy VII, where the graphics changed and got to 3. Yes. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me, Sam, because yeah, the Final Fantasy that I know of is the 7, where it's like the camera's behind you and you kind of run around like 3D like. So it did come from number 7, huh? Oh, I don't want this. I want yeah, this one right here. Let's go. Where would you say the Final Fantasy series became an absolute juggernaut? Like, I would imagine like the first 3 games, it's just maybe like your average RPG game. There's probably lots of RPG games out there. Final Fantasy is just probably like, you know, one of many. But where would you think, or where would you say is the game that like, okay, this game's a big deal. This is a big franchise. You think it would be 6 or 4? And you can say Final Fantasy VII were a year where really Square shined with all its story and music, especially with Nobuo Uematsu, One Wing Angel. I've heard that song too. Yeah, One Wing Angel is absolutely, I know that song very well. I'd say Final Fantasy VII all the way to 10 were so good. So 7, 8, 9, 10 were all like the good one, like really, really good. Okay. So now let's go up. Oh my god. Okay, how do we get there? Okay, how are we gonna get there? We're gonna go left. Oh, just go right and stay right. I got you. Okay. A juggernaut in, okay, I said Final Fantasy, okay. A juggernaut in the US, I would say 7. It was a phenomenon. 6 was really great. If it were a PlayStation game, it would be most people's favorite. Oh, for number 6? 8 wasn't too bad, but it was Final Fantasy 7, 9, and 10 were the best old of and modern Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 6 was decently popular, but I think 7 was the real breakout. Red and other people who said that, I think I agree with you guys. Just from an outsider's point of view, 7 is the one that has the aura behind it. 7's the one that's like the Ocarina of Time, right? The people who don't really know Zelda, they know Ocarina of Time. The people who don't really know Final Fantasy, I know Cloud and I know Final Fantasy 7 and I know One Winged Angel, so I know that stuff. So I would say 7 is, from an outsider's perspective, like the Juggernaut. That's like the doing most of the heavy lifting. From there on out, I think it's just kind of like, oh yeah, that game, the Final Fantasy game, that one, number 7. Okay, let's go. But number 6, I definitely heard a lot of good things about number 6, which is also number 3. But if you mean every mainline Final Fantasy game that people love, then that would be 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 14, and some might say 16. Okay. They say if you want to get first into Final Fantasy franchise for best experience for old Final Fantasy games is to start with 7, and for modern and best storytelling and such, start with 10. Okay. I'm telling you, every time I have a conversation that's kind of around the generality of Final Fantasy, 10 comes up a lot. Of course 7 comes up. That one's going to come up, right? But 10 comes up. I'm surprised, by the way, starting this journey, you guys. 7 and 6 are the ones that like I heard the most about. Here's what I knew, right? 7 was the main one, right? 6 was also number 3, okay, and that was great. Everybody loved number 3, which is actually number 6. So 6 and 7 I knew were like, you know, huge, and 7 was like, you know, basically a game changer. But since I started this though, 10 is coming up a lot. 4 is coming up a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of games in this franchise I'm looking forward to. 14 keeps coming up. So I'm looking forward to getting into some of these ones and checking them out. Believe it or not, Final Fantasy X is a big deal. Yeah, I didn't know that. I did not know that going into it. There is still argument over which villain is better, the one from 6 or Sephiroth. Okay, where the heck am I going now? Let me go straight up, see what happens. Oh my god, what do I do, you guys? What do I do? Am I all healthed up? I'm all healthed up. Okay, let's go. Cloud of darkness. We are the cloud of darkness, bringer of wrath and destroyer of light. You and your world will be sacrificed to the void. Not if we have anything to say about that. Ha! This is the world of darkness. You think your powers of light can defeat us in our own land? Well, now that you mention it, their light alone may not be enough, but our powers of darkness can suppress your evil. You would be willing to sacrifice your lives for the light? Fools! We will not let you reduce the world to nothing. Your demise is none of our concern. Okay, yeah, pigs, you can say those two have some beefs, and those two you can say were only villains that really won from their plans. But even people who've never played 7 have heard of Sephiroth. Yeah, me. It's like, which girl is best from Final Fantasy 7? Aerith or Tifa? All these years still fans are fighting over it. Let's go, let's fight. Let's fight. Darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. So we're gonna attack. You're gonna use magic. I want you to use flare. Go ahead. And then I want you, before we start the battle, I want you to sing increase the entire party's attack and intellect. Actually, I'm going to start with decreased damage taken by the party. I'm going to start with that. That way I can get myself through the first attack. Okay, ouch. Then we're going to attack, we're going to attack. I'm going to use magic, flare, and then I want you to use increase our power attack, and then you're going to start doing health, okay? That's what we're going to do. Let's go. Okay, so attack, attack. You're going to use your magic flare. And then now you're going to start singing for here. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Come on, you got this, you got this, you got this. Come on. Come on, my little peoples in the screens. Come on. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna go attack. We're gonna go attack. You're gonna use on everybody, and then you're gonna sing on everybody. Let's go. Oh, I got it. Oh my gosh. Is there a phase 2? I need to catch up on comments after this. Oh my gosh. That's it? Is that it? Oh, so far there's been no phase 2s, huh? On the final boss battles? Or has there been? That's it. In the beginning, there was the void. Then came the light and darkness. From them, everything was born. The heavens, the skies, the water, fire, life, time inexorably brings all back to its beginning. Let me catch up on comments over here, though. Catch up on some comments here. I think I'm behind here. So, I hate this boss on the NES version so much. Anyone else played Illusion of Gaia? Oh, I've heard of Illusions of Gaia. I never played it though. The hero uses dark powers and is not a bad or even anti-heroic character. Sam says it's because only move it could do was practically beam, and the NES, it was her only move, which it sucked because it dealt more than 3,000 damage to all. Any reason I can't like both Final Fantasy girls, although if pressed, I think Cloud would be happier with Aerith. Well, you know, Clover, some fans say that Aerith is for other person and Cloud is for Tifa. I'm not going to say the other person's name because I don't want to spoil it to Kenny if he still didn't play 7. I have not played 7. But no, you're not wrong. You can ship anyone you like. Good game. Yep. My bad. I thought Kenny had played Final Fantasy VII. You can say Final Fantasy II had, but it was after he killed Emperor and got revived. Yeah, there was a boss battle where you had to fight him more than once, but was it in the same, like he killed him and then he came back in a different form? Because in the original game, you fought what's his face, Garrett or Gareth or Garland. It was Garland. You fought him once, right? And then he went away, and then at the end of the game, you fought him again. I'm trying to think of like a two-phase boss battle. I don't know if there was one. Yeah, Emperor had same too. Yeah, right there. Final Fantasy 1, if you count Garland as the first form of Chaos. Yeah. Yeah. You're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Senor Rojo, Ashur, Money Baga, Sassy. You did it. Well done. All right, what's my reward though? Let's go home. Okay. We fought Emperor in his human form, then he come back as Lord Master of Hell at the end. Yeah. Yeah. When I'm talking about two-phase though, I'm like in the same battle. Like you fight him, you kill him, and then he comes back in the same battle. And you got to continue the fight. That's what I'm talking about. Fellas, you're back, and you're front. You're both here, safe and sound. Of course, barely broke a sweat. Without your help, we never would have made it. Thank you. Ha! If you ever need help, we heroes will be here for you. Come and train with us anytime until we meet again. So not yet, but eventually multi-phase battles happen. Yeah, RPGs are like notorious for it nowadays, so it's interesting to see the evolution of RPGs through playing this. Like for instance, also, if you level up, you don't max out your health again or max out your magic power. In future RPGs, that's like a common staple. I was surprised when I started playing these games, not having all of my, magic and health max out when I level up. That was weird to me. Garland, you can say, had the same situation as Emperor. We killed him at first, and then after he died, we didn't fight him until the very end of the game. We got 3,000 years ago. Yeah, that's what it was. You went back 3,000 years, and when you killed him the first time, he also got sent back 3,000 years. Yeah, that's why in future Final Fantasy games, your maximum HP would get to 9999 and MP would get to 999. Okay. I think we saved the world, everybody. I think we saved the world. What would the world do without us? Where are we going? Where are we going? Are we going back to the floating continent? Yay! Get circles around it. We've almost reached Canaan. Guess this is my stop. My wife's probably worried sick. Wait, I'll get off here too. Why do you want to go there? I just want to check in with someone. Oh, I know who. Nothing. Just grieve and hope for someday warriors of light come. That's how these old Final Fantasy games work. Very lackluster endings. Well, they were putting all their time and energy and resources into actually game development. Story was probably like, yeah, we'll figure it out. They probably didn't even have like legit writers. They probably just had like software developers writing a story. Also. Here, come design this game and also write a story for it too. All right, everybody comes back home. Everybody's happy. Come on, douche. Don't be a douche. Oh, you want story in a Final Fantasy game? That's weird. Shall we head back to Sassoon now, Your Highness? Can't I stay with you? I don't want to go home just yet. But Princess Sarah, don't you understand? I want to stay with you. Oh my gosh. Oh, did I embarrass you? Come, let's go to Oh, Pigs, there was a follow-up to your statement. Oh, you want story in your Final Fantasy game? Be careful what you wish for. Crystals have a very important job as well till Final Fantasy V, and after Final Fantasy VI, you can say developers really got into real storytelling and got good stories without crystals and warriors of light in it. Welcome back to Welcome back, Señor Rojo. We're proud of you. Welcome home. You saved the world. Wow, you're amazing. I am so great. I am so great. This is a long ending though, I'll give it that. In this and NES version, Princess Sarah is in love with first person of group, but on DS version, which they had all their own characters and names, she was in love with Ingus. Ingus. Oh my gosh. That's a beautiful shot right there, huh? With the sunlight coming through. It's beautiful. That's it. Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy 3, it's in the bag. Let me open up this real quick, everybody. Are we ready for this? All right, I'm gonna come over here. Let's review this, everybody. Let's go. Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster review. Let's go, people. Let's go. So I'm gonna go through my review. At any point, if anybody out there wants to offer their thoughts about the scoring, feel free. I'll make adjustments. I'll compromise. We'll talk through it. Okay, this is a group effort at this point. Okay. So here's my review for Final Fantasy III. I'm gonna go through story and characters, music and audio, graphics and visuals, level design and gameplay. You'll notice to the very right, there's a yellow multiplier by each one. That indicates how important that part of the game is to me. Story and characters is the least important to me. That has a 2x multiplier. And all the way down to the bottom, gameplay is the most important thing to me, and that has a 6x multiplier. So let's go through and score this and see what we get. Now, there's already scores in there. Okay. That's what I gave to Final Fantasy II. So Final Fantasy II got a 63%. Is this going to be better or is it going to be worse than Final Fantasy II? Let's go through. So for the first one here, story and characters, let me actually maximize this screen real quick so I can see what's going on. Bring this over here like that. There we go. There we go. We're getting it going on here. I also want to be able to read the comments. Let me pull this out this way. Okay, let me catch up on comments before I start this. Yeah, I told you that DA version, they had their own name and personalities, which were Lunith, Ark, Refia, and Ingus. That's interesting that they would name certain characters for certain versions, but then other ones leave it. That's weird to me. Oh, I noticed that in the inn where you first meet Cid, there's a painting on the wall from the title screen of Final Fantasy I. I did not notice that. That's very, very cool. I wish I had seen that to begin with. Time for Final Fantasy IV, everyone. Yippee. That's next, yeah. And I have something to say about that, by the way. Don't let me forget. You guys remind me I have an announcement about Final Fantasy IV before I end this stream. I say Final Fantasy III really learn from their mistakes from Final Fantasy II. I would agree with that, Sam. There's a lot of improvements in this one. Spoilers about my review, especially their dungeon designs. Absolutely. Dungeon designs in Final Fantasy II were not good at all, and trapdoors were quite pain to deal with. I agree. Red Clover says, good job, Kenny. Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. All right. Story and characters. Consider the narrative and characters, including voice acting. No voice acting here, but that's okay. We don't have to consider that. Are they convincing, memorable? Do they enhance the experience? I'm gonna go out and say it. Memorable? No. The last one, Minwoo and Joseph, those types of characters I did enjoy. This one, I think that douche character, Desh, I think was his actual name. For some reason, he stood out. I don't know why. Probably just because his name was kind of funny. Sid is here again. I guess that's kind of an interesting character. As far as story, this is, I think, the biggest map so far, right? Because you have the main continent and then you have the overworld continent. So they did improve upon the traversing around and having characters in different areas kind of present the story outward and then kind of all come back together at the end. That was kind of nice. That was neat. I guess I like that. But I mean, as far as the storytelling goes, the original number one, I gave a 2. Okay. Number 2, I gave a 2.5. And number 3, I think I'm going to stick with it, you guys. I think I'm going to stick with the story being a 2.5. I don't think it was better than number 2. It was definitely better than number 1. So for story and characters, I'm going to stick with a 2.5. I'm not going to make a change there. I think this it's on par, basically. It's, you know, different characters from different areas in the map telling you different parts of the story. And then they all kind of come together at the end. That's kind of basically what happens. Yeah, congrats on completing the game. Thank you, Pigs. I'm glad you made it through, Pigs, to watch me beat this one. I know that you have been coming through to a lot of my Final Fantasy streams. We won't get to voice acting, Kenny, until we get to play part 10. I heard that. I heard 10 was the first one that offered that. We have job classes in that game +1. Oh, that's right. The job class system. I don't know if that had to do with the story, though. Story, I'm keeping it 2.5. I don't know. Any protests on that? Or I'm trying to think of a reason why the story would be better in this one. I think it's the same. It's the same. Okay, music and audio. I gave a 5 on number 2, and I also gave a 5 on number 1. A lot of memorable tunes from number 1. Iconic tunes deserves a 5, absolutely. In number 2, they kept a lot of those iconic tunes, and the songs they did add were super catchy. The battle music in number 2 I thought was great. I always look forward to getting into a battle just so I can hear the opening theme to the battle music. I'm gonna say for number 3, this is the first point where I feel like the music, it's not bad, but it didn't improve, and it's almost like a half step backwards. I don't feel like the music really has a lot of the punch from the previous 2. I feel like it did back off a little bit. I still think it's good. The music is still good, but I wouldn't feel okay giving it another 5 like I gave the first 2. I do feel like the music is kind of, that's maybe where they didn't really improve the music, and the music they did change isn't necessarily, you know, great music. It's good music, but it's not great. I'm gonna go a 4.5 on this. I'm gonna do a 4.5 on that. I don't know how you guys feel about the music. Yeah, the music's good. It's not bad music. 4.5 I think is good music. 4.5 out of 5 is basically a 90%. It's an A. But, you know, flawless? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would put the job classes under gameplay. Yeah, me too. Eternal Wind was my favorite from this game. Eternal Wind, was that I don't know the track names. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go with 4.5 on music. Oh, I didn't read it, by the way. Consider the soundtrack and sound effects. Does the music add to the atmosphere? Are sound effects immersive? It's a lot of the same from the previous 2. I think that's another reason why I'm thinking it goes from a 5 down to a 4.5 is because I'm just getting a lot of the same. It's a lot of the sameness. So altogether, it's fine, but there's not enough flair or difference in this one that really strikes me. So that's why I'm going to do a 4.5. This gets a 4.5 out of 5. Oh, I really can't wait now. Okay, let's go to graphics and visuals, you guys. Art style, visually appealing and fits the genre. The tone, animation, smooth and natural. Environmental details and environmental details. Oh, I think that's supposed to say are immersive. Oh, detailed and immersive. I got you. Okay. This one I gave a 3.5 to number 1. I gave a 3.5 to number 2, and number 3, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. You guys, this to me is like, it's the same. It's the same game over and over again, which isn't bad. Okay, it's fine. But I mean, this whole thing being put together like this was a big deal, and they were releasing these games for a while separately before they finally put them all in the same pack. And the fact that it was such a slow rollout of this to finally come to fruition, I think I sound greedy when I say this, but it would be nice if the graphic style was on par with like Octopath Traveler or something like that. Like really, really next level graphics. Like that's kind of what I think would be like the gold standard of games like this. I know these are old, and I know they basically just kind of touched them up and they look fine. That's why 3.5 is fine. But they don't like, they could have pushed the envelope on the graphics for these to really make them next level, and they didn't. They're fine graphics. They look good. I enjoy playing it, but it's not like, holy crap, have you played the pixel remasters? It's just kind of, they're just like basic games to me. That's how I feel about these. For graphics, it was all same. I didn't find any difference, but if I want to give it good points, I give it for some of their job class model change that we see in Final Fantasy 1, like for example, the thief look. Yeah, especially after you beat, what's his name? Bahamut in the first one, when you make that first change in your character sprites change, that was really, really cool. I did enjoy that. Different in this, he looks like a math teacher, but in Final Fantasy 1, Thief looked handsome, blue hair man. What are you saying about math teachers? They put NES version of Final Fantasy 1 through 3 all in one, but it wasn't all way in later, which were only released in Japan. So 1 through 3, wait, let me read that again. Hold on, Sam. They put NES version of Final Fantasy 1 to 3 all in one, but it wasn't all the way in, but it wasn't. So the 1 through 3 were released at once, and then the 4, 5, 6 were released separately. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Okay. Let's go down to level design. Is navigation intuitive and encouraging of exploration? Do challenges progress naturally and align with core mechanics? So number 2, I gave a 2.5. And that was a drop from number 1. Number 1, I gave level design a 3.5. And number 2 dropped a whole point because of those dead ends and the weird dead end rooms, which were not okay. So I dropped it a full point for that. This game, I think, is definitely an improvement over number 2. And to be honest, I think it's even an improvement over number 1. I like the hidden passages, those little hidden corridors that you can find. That definitely encourages exploration. A lot more chests in hidden areas, a lot more things to find. There's even a few boss battles, optional boss battles that you can fight. I like that too. So I like the level design in this. I like that there were some areas that were, fiery and some icy and some, the all the landscapes looked very different. It was fun exploring. So the original I gave a 3.5. The number 2 I gave a 2.5. I'm gonna bump this up to a 4. Bump that up to a 4. I'm almost contemplating 4.5, but that might be too high for level design. I think 4 is good though. I think 4 is good for that one. I say Final Fantasy 3 level designs were okay since it was all straightforward. Just go all the way down or all the way to reach your, yeah, exactly. A lot of that, but there were a lot of hidden passages though. So there were some areas where, it was worth exploring sometimes because you can find those little holes in the wall. So, I give them extra point in this game that when we run around lava, we won't get hurt. Since, yeah, remember Final Fantasy 1 and 2, they both had those levels where you had to go through areas where you get hurt. Okay, that brings us down to the most important one, gameplay. Consider core mechanics, controls, HUD, progression, etc. Are they intuitive and engaging? Do they offer enough depth? So the number 2, I gave a 2.75. Number 1, I gave a 4. Number 1 was a 4. I thought it had really good gameplay. I really liked it. The biggest gripe in number 1 was the magic system. I did not like magic points, or however they had it, where you had a certain number of spell slots. I like having magic, a meter, right, where you use a certain amount of magic. It would be nice. In number 3, they went back to that, by the way. They went back to how they did it in number 1, where they had spell slots, but there was a lot more spell slots. That was nice. And I also like that they returned the items that you can actually use instead of magic. So I like that. I like having items that you can use instead of magic. That way, every single turn you can actually use that item. So I did like that. I liked. I did like the job class system. I like that each character had something that offered that other characters didn't. I like that aspect of it. I didn't like that when you changed to that job class, you lost all your magic and you started over with your level. You had to level up each one. If they gave you like 6 or 7 classes, maybe even like 10 classes, if they gave you a bunch of classes, but all up front in the very beginning of the game, and then you level them up as you play, so you get to the end of the game and you have the ones that you like leveled up adequately, that would be a plus. Okay, I would enjoy that. And I would enjoy being able to swap whenever I want to job classes for whatever I want to do. That would be great. The problem in this game, I feel, is they introduced some of the job classes so late. I got a new job class, I think, either entering or having just entered the final dungeon. That's like this much time left in the game to level up your, it's not worth it. It's just, it became, I ended up reverting back to my previous build because it would have been a nightmare trying to level up my other character. So it was not worth it for me. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun. So I liked the job system. I wish that they had given you more characters up front that you can kind of play with as you explored the game. That would have been a lot better. And having to use certain jobs to do certain activities didn't come up very often. It came up in the very beginning. Remember when you had to make yourself mini and then you make yourself big again? Like that was kind of a big part of the gameplay, and then like turning into a frog. But that all happened fairly early in the game and they never really came back to it. So there wasn't really much opportunities to really exploit certain jobs over other jobs. So that was a little, that kind of fell flat. Definitely cool idea, but they didn't really land with it. So I am going to go, the first one got a 4. Number 2 got a 2.75. Number 3, is it better or worse than, it's better than 2. It's going to get higher than 2.75, but is it better than 1? Would I rather play 1? I think I would. I would rather play the gameplay of number 1, even though this is more innovative. It's a little too flawed. It's too flawed to really be enjoyable. So I think number 1 is better, even though it's not as innovative. So I'm gonna go 3.75. I'm very comfortable with that, you guys, as a score. Very, very comfortable with a solid C for Final Fantasy 3. So there you have it. Let me catch up on some of these comments, please, and thank you. Let's see here. Where am I going? Over here. Okay. That's why you gotta love Final Fantasy 5, because 5 have some good and very awesome abilities. Okay, I'm looking forward to 5 for some of the job classes. Most of the job classes later in the game are just level ups of existing jobs. So pigs, if you can actually take your level up. So if, like, for instance, you have a black mage or whatever, and then the magus is the upgrade of that, you should be able to carry over this to that one particular character, or just level up that job class and no longer be able to be the mage, just be the magus. Like, that would make more sense to me. I would like that better. Sage and ninja for last two jobs weren't there to grind. They were just there to use them to break the game, with Sage using all magics and ninja with their shurikens. Okay. True, and Final Fantasy V's job system is finished fairly early on, giving you time to level. That's what I'm talking about, Red. Right, I would say the first third or even the first quarter of the game, you need to get all that stuff dialed in, and then from there on out, you can just kind of piece it together and grow from there. That needs to be early game access to be able to really grow it, to balloon it out, to make it worth having at the end of the game. Because when they give it to you too late, it's too late. I'm not leveling it up anymore. I'm done. I keep hearing bad things about the Bard, but you got my... I like the Bard. I did like the Bard, Red. So you heard bad things about it, huh? The best is free healing, basically. I got basically plus 1,000 health every turn because of the Bard. So I definitely like the Bard. Bard did a lot of healing, but also it buffed my party and it nerfed the enemy. So I'm a Bard fan over here. They fixed Bard from NES version, which is that he still sucked, but in Pixel Remaster they broke him. He's so good now. I'm a fan of Bard. I liked Bard. All right, everybody. That was my review of Final Fantasy 3. Okay, 75%. Let's go back real quick. So just for remembering, Final Fantasy 1 also got a 75%. I'll be damned. Final Fantasy 1 got a 75%. There it is. Okay, and there's my scores. Okay. Final Fantasy 2 dropped down to 63, so a D. Okay, and then Final Fantasy 3, yeah, it's an on par game to number 1. I mean, it's, I think, a better sequel. It's if we went from 1 to 3, that would have been a fine sequel. Number 2 is just an oddball. It had a lot of weird things in there. This is much better. I would still rather play number 1 though, even though they got the same score. They both have a 75. I would still prefer to play number 1 all over again. So, they're both good games, so I like them, you guys. I like my journey so far. I really do. If I was playing these back in the day, these would hold my attention. I could see why Final Fantasy became the big juggernaut it is today. They're just fun games. I like them. This is actually my first time I got to see all of your gameplay from start to finish. I hope you get to love Final Fantasy 4 and had a lot of fun with your 3 journey. Hey, thanks, Sam. Nice, because Final Fantasy 1 is still my favorite. Hey, you know what? Those VODs are still available if you want to go back and watch them, Sam. All right, you guys. So here's the deal. Final Fantasy 4 is next. And my friend Devin, who you guys met a little bit ago, he helped me start the journey on this game right here. My very first 2 streams on Final Fantasy 3, Devin came and joined me. He's a great friend of mine. I've been hanging out with him since way back in junior high days, so we've known each other for a very long time. Welcome. Hey, someone just joined my party. Who was that? Lana Coffee, welcome. Thanks for coming through. So, like I was saying, my buddy Devin joined me on the first 2 here, and he's a good friend of mine. And his favorite is, the one that he beat number 4, and I think it's his favorite. I'm gonna go out and say it. I think part 4 is his favorite. So he's excited about me starting that one. I'm doing what I can. To get him over here to actually stream with me. Not the entire game, but maybe every other stream he can join or something like that. So I'm not going to start that game until he can commit to come and actually at least be part of the very first stream. So next week when I stream, if Devin's available, we're going through with Final Fantasy 4 and he's going to be part of it. Okay. If he's not available, I'm going to find something else to stream for like a one-off. Okay. So next week will either be a one-off on my own of some random game, or I'll be doing Final Fantasy 4 with Devin in the house. So So that's my plans for next week. There are 2 versions of Final Fantasy IV, which is Pixel Remaster and Remake, one on Steam. Both are good, but Steam one is a little special since it only has a version that add voice acting. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so this 4 does have a version with voice acting. That's very, I didn't know that. That's the only game I can recommend you try, Steam version or Pixel. So I'm doing, they're all going to be Pixel Remaster. So they're all already on my Switch. So I'm definitely playing from here. So next week, number 4, or just a random stream with I don't know what game yet. So before I go, you guys, I want to do the, what do you call it? Let's come back over here. Let's come back to the chat. And let me, what am I doing? I'm going to come, hold on. I might have to say out loud what I'm doing. Minimize this. That's what I'm doing. I'm closing the poll. I could not remember what I was doing. I'm closing. Okay, make sure if you're watching on YouTube to take the poll, you guys finish the poll. I'm getting ready to close it out. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Close that poll out. Get the results. There they are. And let me go ahead and copy pasta this over here, so people from the future can read it as well. But there they are. Okay, so have you ever finished Final Fantasy 3? Yes, 40% of you guys have finished Final Fantasy 3. So fantastic. I'm now part of that 40%. Never played it, 40%. I'm no longer part of that 40%. And then no, but I tried. So 20% of you have actually tried. So so 60% have either played it, right? 60% have played it, 40% have beat it, and then 40% have never played it. Okay, well, good. Hey, for those of you who never played it, I'm glad that you got to sit along and watch me on my journey to see what the game looks like, and there you have it. We finished the first 3 Final Fantasy games. Congrats, Kenny. Now we got a SNES era. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Sam, thank you. That's something else I just learned. So the first 3 were on NES, and then from here on out is going to be the SNES. So number 4 goes to SNES. I wasn't quite sure that it was exactly like that. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3 are from the NES version. So I'm ready for it, you guys. I'm ready for it. It's almost like a bittersweet thing. I'm almost too sad to say goodbye, you guys. You want to start it right now? Want to go for it? No, I'm just kidding. We can't. Hey, thank you guys for coming along on this journey. I'm enjoying getting to know the Final Fantasy games. I'm also enjoying your guys' input on it. I know this game means so much to you guys. I'm hearing some stories from you guys playing these games when you're a kid, right? Or watching your older brother play the game, and sitting on the floor at home playing these games. And just, I know there's so much nostalgia wrapped up in these. And for you to share that with me means a lot to me. As a gamer, I remember back when I was gaming, when I was a kid. So your stories helps me, realize how special these games are to the world, right? Like this is a juggernaut of RPG franchise that I'm being able to experience, and being able to experience it with you guys also means a lot to me. So thank you is what I'm saying. All right, everybody. I'll be here next week. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming Final Fantasy IV or a one-off, but either way, you're welcome to join. Take care of yourselves. I'll see y'all next week. Have a good week. Goodbye.
Too bad.